Hello and welcome to Darling Land. I'm Kayra Darling. I've been away for a while and I'm not going to apologize because I feel like, if you need a break, you take a break. Not a break from life. You take a break to live your life. And then come back and talk about it. The things that you learn, things that you see, the places that you visit, the people that you learn from, and the people that learn from you. It's all a part of it. So much has happened. I've been asked to share an experience that I had through meditation. I do believe that I spoke in an earlier segment about some things that happened to me before I came out here to LA. One being, they call it a near-death experience, but I was pronounced dead. We'll just leave it at that. And, I've heard a lot of experiences when people have, crossed over and come back, and some don't have an experience at all. They're right here, and that's all that they see. Now, I don't know what to think of it. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of whatever that I've heard, but since my experience, I've realized that I have gifts, and lately I've tapped into them. And I think a lot of it has to do with something called human ascension that we'll talk about in much later segments. Right now, I want to talk about the path that led me up to right now. And that path has been through meditation. It's been through meditation, it's been through prayer, it's been through therapy, it's been through proper diagnosis, it's been through finding stability, finding ground, and activating different parts of my mind and my brain beyond the 10% that we've come to know that most people don't use. And if you do use it, then I congratulate you. If you don't, I'm telling you that you can. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to claim that as your reality. And once you don't claim it, and once you unlock the different dimensions of your mind that can lead you to realities that are far beyond what is expectation and what is limitation and what is downloaded belief and fragmented mindset and trauma-based, it's all a journey. And it's a beautiful, wonderful journey to a beautiful, wonderful mind. Ever since I was a kid, I've seen things. And I never really talked about it because nobody wants to be the weird kid. But I had a very traumatic childhood. And I've always been able to see my angels. And I've always been able to receive comfort and nurturing from them when I was afraid or when bad things were happening to me. And I believe it was meant to keep me safe and protected so that no matter what, I would always be loved. And I would always have this insatiable, undying need to love. Not to be loved, but to love. And of course, in that, everybody wants to be loved. But I haven't sacrificed or compromised very much of myself in order to love somebody. I've just loved them. This experience happened during meditation when I was struggling with right and wrong, good and evil, demonic and angelic, and I heard from a motivational speaker something that intrigued me that said, what if the demons you see, the monsters that you see, the everything that frightens you, first of all, what if fear didn't exist, and what if all of that were just fragments of yourself that had been left behind or abandoned in moments of trauma or pain? That intrigued me. That thought came into my head during my meditation, and all of a sudden I was catapulted, one might say, to the steps of a church. And sitting on those steps with his hands and his face was my interpretation as a child of what Satan or the devil whatever you want to call him, would look like. And he was crying. And I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, "Why are you crying?" And when that being, or whatever you want to call it, looked up, it was my face at 7 years old, my inner child. And I said to me, "Because they won't let me in." And I pointed to the church. And everybody keeps blaming everything on me. The devil did it. The devil made me do it. And I said, "Well, you can come in with me." And sobbing, I said to myself, "They won't accept it." And I took me by the hand, again at 7 years old, again my interpretation of the devil. And I said, "Well, it's my church." And hand in hand, we opened the doors, and the doors of the church opened, and the whole congregation stood up and applauded. And everyone in there was me. And we walked in. Since then, I've gone through an extreme, amazing amount of self-growth and therapy and letting go. And I've come to a place where there really is no fear. The only thing to fear is fear. And what if there was an existence and a reality where it just was gone? And all of the demons that are chasing you, you invite in because you realize they're just fragments of you that were abandoned and left behind in trauma, pain, fear. But if fear didn't exist, then how can they hurt you? And you'll see as they get closer, they turn into Care Bears and unicorns and stuffed animals and gummy bears and glitter. And finally, when they get close enough, you see it's actually you. It's your face. It's always your face. Well, that's just my interpretation of my experience. Real things that have actually happened to me lately. Give yourself a hug. Be good to yourself. Make someone smile. Make someone laugh. Make someone dance. That's a fun one. I challenge you to do that. But most of all, be good to yourself and be good to everyone. Be good to others. Smooches.